Hey there, everybody, welcome to another class. We're back. Today's class is Nurture Your Inner Child. And so we'll be having a little fun, not taking things too serious. You'll need a block or something similar to a block. We're gonna take Sugarcane's pose or half moon pose. So that'll be coming your way. This is Luna, I'm Chelsea, and we're so excited that you're here. So with Mother's Day right around the corner, I thought it'd be a good time to get into some of that nurturing energy that comes from a mother's love, but maybe that starts to come from yourself, especially if that support system doesn't exist for you, which is totally okay. This is the longest she's stayed on camera for a long time. So we had a little bit of a scare with her over the weekend, actually. She had an allergic reaction. We think it was to the vaccine she had on Friday. So she's all Benadrylled up, which is probably why she's a little more sweet than she normally is. But yeah, so that was not great, but we got through it. So anyway, sidebar. But nurturing energy is different than nourishing energy. There she goes. Nurturing is kind of going a step further. So you're really being gentle with yourself or whoever you're trying to nurture. Nourishing is more like we're doing it to survive. So I'm eating what I need to eat so that I can just survive. So nurturing is going further than that in more of a like wellness sense. So that's what we'll be focusing on today, is really nurturing your inner child so you feel safe and loved, so you can be free and silly to your heart's content. So grab your block, grab your mat, grab your things, and I will see you super duper soon. Hey there, yogi, welcome to another practice, Nurture Your Inner Child. So today we're gonna start in child's pose. I thought would be appropriate. So you can come to your knees, maybe your toes go together as your legs go wide. You can sink your forehead all the way down to your mat. And if your forehead isn't getting there today, you can always stack your fists and rest your head on your hands. So you're gonna stay in your child's pose. Maybe your knees come together too. Some people prefer child's pose with their knees together. Lots of options. So play around with that a little bit and then assume your comfortable child's pose position. And start to come into the breath, taking time to really explore the expansion of the inhale and feel that full release of the exhale. When we're children, I've been thinking about this a lot lately actually, when we're children, we're so present. There isn't all of that constant chatter going on in our brain. I remember time taking so long because you're so present and you're so focused on being in the moment when you're a kid. And so I've been trying to do that a lot lately. I have mentioned before, overthinking is kind of my thing, wish it wasn't, but so try to stay present, try to stay right here instead of, oh my gosh, I have to go do this, or like somebody said something and like now I'm freaking out about it type deal. So come into being present with your breath, and if you can, maybe cultivate some light-hearted energy. When we're little, everything is amazing and fascinating, and this has been coming up in conversations I've been having just with random people, how children are so wide-eyed and joyful and just, oh, I'm so stoked to be here type deal. So can you use this practice to cultivate that, to really become a little more easy, a little more uplifted like kids are? Take 2 more breaths in your child's pose. And then you can come up to tabletop, and we're just gonna take some cat-cows. So inhale for cow, exhale for cat, and any other motion. Maybe if you wanna get silly and you just kinda wanna like move your booty, shake your tail, wiggle your shoulders. Sometimes I like to just like to spaz out in my cat-cows. It's kind of fun. So the goal being today to, have some fun with your practice. Along our life journey, we end up getting conditioned to be serious. We lose our inner child and that magic that comes along with it. And then at some point in our adulthood, we're like, oh, this isn't very much fun. I should probably nurture my inner child a little bit. So coming back to those things and those feelings that really lit you up as a kid, and see if you can bring them into your adulthoodedness. That's not a word. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so from your tabletop, you can stop your cat-cows. You're gonna stand on your knees, and you can stay standing on your knees like this so that you're up, or you can sit down on them, whichever is best for you. We're gonna do a few rounds of lion's breath. So if you're all the way seated on your knees, make sure, just check in with them, make sure that you're not putting too much compression on the knee joints. So lion's breath. This is a really fun one, and we're moving energy through sound, so it's a good way to just release and get things out if that's what you're needing to do. And it's a fun, lighthearted little thing, which I've been really trying to tap into, that playfulness instead of, oh, I have to get this done and things are so serious. So lion's breath, you're gonna take a deep belly breath in, and you're gonna exhale with your tongue out like this, which I'm sure looks really, really great on camera. So deep breath in, exhale, stick out the tongue, and make that sound as you do it. Maybe you're gonna growl a little bit, like get weird. Let's get weird and funky today. I like it. So deep breath in, line it out. 2 more. Maybe you're really moving stuff out. Last one. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so from here, let's head to our high plank. Scoot the hips high for down dog. Take some time to pedal, pedal, pedal those heels. Walk your dog out. Slow or fast. Maybe you like really want to get that energy going, so you're really gonna motor around. But hang here for 2 more breaths. Watch your posture, watch your breath, but as I said, the goal here being to have fun. You're gonna step, feet to hands, forward fold. In breath, halfway lift. Exhale, down you go to fold. Reach to extended mountain. Exhale, down to fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Rise to extended, and bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna do knocking on heaven's door, just because it's kind of a carefree motion, and it's a good way to like free up your body, free up your soul, and free up space. And if you think about child energy, they're very free. Like if they're allowed to dress themselves, like they come up with some pretty like wacky outfits, but they're so free in their spirits. And so bringing that back, bringing that energy back, so you can really like let loose and get out of maybe the cage that you may or may not have built for yourself. Okay, so hands into fists for knocking on heaven's door. And you're gonna bend your knees, and you're just gonna start to flail back and forth. So we're swinging the arms, trying not to control them, and you can always release the palms so your hands are open, and maybe you're gonna start kind of slapping your body a little bit. So this will wake things up and get some blood flow into those spots. But we're just kind of letting things go, and you can move with your breath, but maybe you're just letting it flow however it's gonna flow right now. Being spontaneous, not planned. It's also an adult energy, is planning things out, whereas kids they're spontaneous and they make random noises at random times, which I find really fun to do actually. So let's take a few more on each side. You can settle back to stillness. Inhale, up, extended mountain. Go slow just in case you're a little dizzy or you need to catch your breath. Down for your forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to extended mountain. Bring the hands to heart center, and then settle into your mountain pose for three breaths. You can wiggle your fingers, maybe you're gonna bounce on your knees a little bit. We're going to take a new pose today called balancing butterfly. So being mindful if your knees are a little wonky, and if balancing butterfly, if you're not grooving with it, just drop into your regular seated butterfly. So you're gonna bring your feet together, and then you're gonna come down with the hands and then up on the balls of your feet so that your heels and the sides of the balls of your feet are still touching. And so the knees go nice and wide like a butterfly. So you can stay here with your hands down, Or you can, whoa, this is wobbly, bring your hands to heart center for your balancing butterfly. And maybe if this is too much of a deep compression in your knees, maybe you're gonna have your booty high so that you're just bent outwards like that. But that's a little unstable, so let's bring our hands back down instead of bringing the booty up. So like this, and again, like if deep compression in the knees isn't great for you, just drop into your regular seated butterfly. So we're gonna hold this, this balancing butterfly for 2 more breaths, or you're seated. And then you can bring the hands back down. Let's step it back to high plank. Chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Inhale for cobra. And exhale, down you go. And we're gonna shoot to puppy pose. So take the booty high. Drop the forehead. Maybe you keep your palms grounded. Maybe you tent the fingers to pull more in the pecs and the shoulders. And then toes can be tucked or untucked. Coming back to the breath, to stay here, stay present, and continuing to figure out like exactly how you want to nurture your inner child. Do you maybe want to bring back some things you liked as a child? I've talked about this before. You can come up to your tabletop and find your down dog. I've talked about this before where I was really into unicorns as a child, and so like as you can see I have my unicorn pants on. So I've been trying to like bring back those things. I was also a really big fan of grape candy and grape soda. Haven't had grape soda because I don't drink soda anymore. But so yeah, I've been getting like grape flavored things and just really exploring those things that little Chelsea once really enjoyed. You're gonna inhale to take your right leg high, and then you're gonna bend to stack your hips. So your scorpion dog or your wild dog. You can stay here, or maybe you try to flip your dog. So you're gonna drop the right foot and then inhale, up you go for a wild thing. And if you didn't want to flip your dog, from your down dog, you can come roll on your booty, drop your feet, and then bring yourself back up. So you're in your wild thing. We're gonna hold here for 2 breaths. And now carefully you're gonna roll back over, or get there however you need to get there for your down dog. Let's pedal, pedal. And now come back to stillness. Inhale to take the left leg high. Exhale, bend, stacking the hips. Stay in your scorpion dog. Maybe you're gonna roll for your wild thing so that the left foot comes up and over. And again, if that flip isn't a good transition, drop to your knees, drop on your booty, plant your feet, and then inhale to lift the hips and bring the left arm up and over you. 2 breaths. The great thing about yoga is, so you can come back over, back to your down dog, is there's lots of play involved because every body can't do the same thing, so you kind of have to have this like creative exploration going on. So yoga is perfect for messing around and just doing things that are a little unorthodox, as long as you're not hurting yourself and you're being mindful. You're gonna inhale to hopper step, feet to hands, forward fold, halfway lift. Move down to your fold. You're gonna reach high for extended. And then exhale to sit back for chair.